So I guess it's time to apologize. Hello, underachievers. I'm just kidding with, like, all that dramatic shit. I didn't, like, kill anybody or commit any crimes. I was just kind of annoying and a bit of an asshole and a bit of a prick. So why am I filming this video? So recently, I think anybody that knows me quite well, or anybody that, like, knows me or is a friend, will agree that I've grown up quite a lot in these last few months, and I'm trying to be a better person. I wasn't, like, the worst person before, but, like, you know, self-improvement. I've grown up a lot, and I've learned a lot about myself, and it just got me thinking back into a time where I was, like, not so, like, great. I'm not saying I'm great now, but like back then I was like even less good. If you haven't seen last week's video, you should watch it, but that video kind of made me realize how much of a prick I was. I realized that there's loads of shit that I did a few years ago that I'm like not proud of, and I thought I should probably make a video about it because although the stuff that I did doesn't necessarily warrant an apology video, I'm a guilty person. I just feel guilty about anything. Even if I'm nice, I feel giddy. Even if I'm nice, I feel guilty about being nice. I don't know. If people are nice to me, I feel guilty. I'm a very guilty person, even if I haven't done anything. And I was a bit mean back then. I wasn't the best person, so I thought I'd make like an apology video. I realized that people that knew me back in 2015 might still think that I'm the same person as I was back then, and I don't want that happening. I've changed. And I just want to, you know, I feel bad, so I'm making a video about it. Also, I got nominated for a SHORTY award, and getting nominated made me realize that, hey, like, do I deserve this? Like, do I actually deserve this? Like, have I done anything that warrants being nominated for an award like that? It made me realize that I probably, you know, should, like, not behave, but apologize for when I was misbehaving. Because I don't want what I did when I was 15 to define who I am now, because I'm, like, I'm 20 this year. So I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to, you know, 2019 self-improvement. I've seen lots of people nowadays that are kind of acting like I did, and they're kind of taking on like my persona of when I was like 2015, and it's embarrassing, and I kind of don't want them to continue it because like they look like assholes. I don't want any of them to look like assholes because like it's embarrassing, and it just reminds me of how much like an asshole I was. So yeah, there's 3 phases. So the first prick phase was when I was like 13, 14, is when I first started Instagram. It's when I had a Panic at the Disco fan account. The second phase is when I was really in the edgy phase. Like, that was the worst part. This is pretty much what this video is like based around. I was like 15, 16, had a spam account, provoked everyone, was an asshole. And the third phase was when I first came out as trans because, you know. So, first phase is quite quick. I just started a Panic at the Disco fan account because I loved Panic at the Disco when I was like 13, 14. I used to post cute little pictures of, if you don't know who they are, Ryan Ross, who is an ex-band member of Panic at the Disco, and Brendan Urie, who's the singer of Panic at the Disco. I was convinced they're in love. Like, I literally, they were in love. In my mind, they were together and married and had kids. Obviously, that's dumb as shit, because, like, Ryan hadn't been in the band for, like, 5 years. But yeah, I was adamant that they're in love, and anybody that told me that they weren't was an immediate enemy. If you told me that Ryan and Brendan weren't in love, you weren't my friend. I blocked you. I literally, like, that you were blocked. And I remember distinctly, there was this one big Panic at the Disco fan account. She's called Kaylee. I'm sure she's nice now. I didn't like her back then because she didn't think Ryan and Brendan were in love, and, like, obviously, immediate enemy. And I had a kind of feud with her because she believed that Brendan and Dallin were in love, and I believed that Brendan and Ryan were in love. I don't want to speak for her, but that's how I saw things. So yeah, I just got into beef with her a lot of times. I was very rude to her. I was rude to a lot of people. I used to send, like, my, like, massive amount of following, like, my 200 followers to, you know, tell her that Ryan and Brendan were in love. And I don't really remember, like, much of what I said to her back then, because, like, that time in my life, I don't remember much of that time. But I still feel bad about, you know, being a bit of a prick, even though I was 13. So Kaylee, I'm very sorry for what I did when I was 13. I hope you don't still think I'm an arsehole. So, second phase, the edgy phase. So this was around 2015, 2016, maybe early 2014. So picture this, me, little Noah, with red hair, a fake lip piercing, a ridiculously high voice, and crippling dysphoria. So I wasn't out as trans at this point. It was not a great time in my life, but that's no excuse for being as obnoxious as I was. So at this point in my life, I identified as non-binary, even though I knew I wasn't non-binary. It was a tough time. Go watch my last video, you'll understand then. So pretty much, I was an arsehole. I used to post, like, edgy memes on my spam account, which is fine, but, like, I didn't post the memes because I found them funny. I posted the memes because I knew it would provoke people, and I found it funny that, like, people got mad. To be fair, it was an enjoyable time, but also, like, I was an asshole. If you were in any position to be provoked, I would have provoked you. So I had this immense hatred for 5 Sauce. This was back in a time when 5 Sauce were, like, getting big. Everyone was saying they were pop punk, but they were pop They weren't pop punk. And I was a massive pop punk fan, and I was not okay with them being labelled as pop punk. Also, they really did rip off a Fall Out Boy song, and I'm still not okay with that. But they're not bad people, they're not a bad band, they're talented, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't be where they are. But, me being an arsehole, I used to provoke Five Sauce fans as much as I could. And if you know anything about Five Sauce back in like 2015 or whatever, you'd know that one thing that their fans hate is when people call them a boy band. Because although they do fit the definition of a boy band, apparently they're not a boy band. But they are a boy band. I stand by that. I was a prick back then, but I stand by that. But yeah, I used to post about how they're a boy band, and I'd tag Five Sauce accounts in like my hate posts about them, which is dumb as shit. I mean, it's not dumb if you want a reaction, but like, it's dumb as shit for wanting a reaction from a bunch of 12-year-olds. If you don't know who Michael Clifford is, I'll show you a picture here. I feel very bad for how mean I was to Michael Clifford, even though he doesn't know I exist. I don't really care if he doesn't know, that doesn't bother me, but I was just rude to him. My nickname for Michael Clifford was half-peeled, onion-looking cunt, which really isn't funny. Like, I thought it was fucking hilarious. I thought I was the shit. I used to post about how ugly he was, about how, like, shit his hair was. Arsehole. There was this one time where Five Sauce were playing live, and Michael Clifford got too close to a fire machine, and his hair caught on fire, and I thought it was fucking hilarious. But it's not fucking hilarious. That's not funny. Like, he had, like, really bad burns to his head, severely injured. And I feel bad about it, but I used to make memes about it, I used to post about it, I used to, like, comment on, like, Five Sauce fan accounts posts that it was funny. Like, I was just that kind of prick. Like, I didn't stab anyone, but I was just like too edgy for my own good. I had enough edgy in my body to power like the entirety of like Black Veil Bride. Also, a fun bonus for this video. These videos don't necessarily make me a prick, like as in an asshole, but they make me look like an absolute bellend. So if you want a decent understanding of how I was back then, here are some videos.
Can I have your hair? Are you actually blind? It looks like a menstrual woman squatted over my head and sneezed.
This is an original song by me. Jesus hates you.
I don't want another pretty face. That, of course, was a joke. I just want your penis inside my mouth.
Don't want to be a supporter of Donald Trump.
I treated everyone like I treated my friends, and I was very, like, bantery with my friends. I used to tell my friends to die and, like, oh my god, kill yourself, in a jokey way, and obviously that doesn't come across in a good way when you're just commenting that to a complete stranger. So I apologize to anyone whose feelings I hurt. I was like, that's just rude. It's really rude and you shouldn't do that. At this point in my life, I was very, like, significant in the spam community. People used to post on their spam accounts, they'd post videos about how much they hated me, and I found it funny, so I'd post it onto my account, but I had, like, quite a few followers, and I sent my followers to kind of hate on them, which I know a lot of people do nowadays, and they shouldn't do it. So stop doing that, but I used to do that when I was 15. I'm glad I've grown out of that. But yeah, there were videos of people being like, I really fucking hate Trigger Warning Rat. They're so rude. Oh yeah, by the way, my name was Trigger Warning Rat on all my social medias, because Trigger Warning, I posted like edgy memes, and Rat, I look like a rat. There's so much that I could say about this edgy phase, about this 2015 to 2016 phase. I had so much went on in that time. I don't remember most of it. I remember taking the piss out of Wiccans, saying that like witches weren't real. I made my own religion called cuntism because people said Wicca was a religion, and I'm like, that's stupid. So I made a religion called cuntism. Also, one of my friends was a dick to all of our friendship groups, so we kicked them out of the friendship group, and then their mum started hating on us and called us a cult. So we made some, like, cult of Noah thing, and we were just... It was a mess. Like, that part of my life was a mess. Like, I'm so glad, like, I'm over that now. But yeah, that's one part of my life. I could make a whole separate video on that entire thing. Like, that would take years, though. That would take years, though, so much. Sorry, the lighting's just changed. I don't know how to use my camera, and the sun is leaving. Oh, the last phase of when I was a prick. This was in, like, late 2017, early 2018. This is when I had first come out as trans. When I came out as trans, it was a big thing for me because I'd spent so many years of my life hiding it from, you know, everyone in real life, but also hiding it from people on the internet because I didn't want them to know I was trans. I just wanted them to treat me like a boy. 'Cause I am just... Yeah, coming out online was a big deal for me. But also, what came with coming out was the fact that because people knew I was trans, I could express my opinions on trans topics. And I still do that nowadays, but I try and be less of an obnoxious prick about it, because there are so many obnoxious pricks out there who spout their opinion, and I'm like, cool, you're entitled to your opinion, but you sound like a cock when you say it, so like, shut up. But back then, I was very rabid about the idea that you need dysphoria to be trans. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm still very opinionated on that. I know that you do need dysphoria to be trans, but also, like, shut up. I was so annoying. Like, I see so many people nowadays that act like I did back then, and it makes me want to die. I used to take the piss out of trans guys that wore makeup because I was so insecure in myself that I didn't understand that, you know, makeup is just like paint on your face. you know, that I used to take the piss out of trans guys that weren't, like, stereotypically masculine. Back to the dysphoria thing, like, I was fucking annoying. Like, I was entitled to my opinion, but also the argument is so dead and so boring, I don't, like, care. I don't care anymore. Like, genuinely, my entire personality in that phase of my life was literally just, you need dysphoria to be trans. I'm a real trans guy, all you trans guys are fake. And I was so obsessed with people being, like, trans trenders and, like, not being true trans people. But honestly, like, nowadays, like, I just don't care that much, just, like, let people be. If they're not trans and they look like a dick, then they look like a dick on an individual level. Sure, other people will think that the rest of the trans community is a dick, or that we're all bellends, but people will think that anyway. Transphobia doesn't stem from trans trenders, it stems from people having a bias against trans people. Do you really think that transphobes are gonna like you because you hate transgenders? No, they're still not gonna like you because you're trans. But yeah, when I came out as trans, I was obnoxious and I was a prick. I went through a phase where I was just like rude to non-binary people, I just wasn't nice. I used to not interact with people that had like different opinions to me, which is dumb as shit because like, yeah, you may not agree with someone and you may think their opinion is dumb as shit, and that's fine, you're entitled to that opinion. But disliking someone just because they don't think you need dysphoria to be trans is stupid. And there's still so many people nowadays that are like I was, and it's so annoying to see it. Like, I've been there, and I realize now that I was a dick, so like, can you stop being a dick? Too many trans guys nowadays have like too many yes men that are like, yeah, you couldn't be rude, it's funny. No. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the end of the video. Again, I'm really sorry to anybody that like I hurt, whether it was intentional or unintentional. I admit that I was a prick, I was an asshole, and I deserve, probably, I deserve people being rude to me. And it's probably fair enough that people still think I'm the person I was back then because they probably have had me blocked since then. But just want to say, like, I've tried to be a better person recently. I'm growing from my mistakes. Honestly, like, I'm happy where I am at the moment. Now I'm only going to be an arsehole to other people if they're an arsehole to me, which is kind of like, I'm okay with that. Like, if you're rude to me or if you're rude to my friends, I'll stick up for them and I'll stick up for myself, but like, I'm not going to go out and provoke people for no reason. I'm just gonna try and be nice. Like, 2019 is a new year, I'm gonna try and be nice. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you didn't like it, fuck you. That's me being an arsehole. I'm still gonna do that. But yeah, have a good day or don't. See you later, losers. And stop being a dick. Like, stop that. Like, it's not cool, it's not funny. People may laugh and be like, ha, you're so funny, but you're not. You're just a prick. Like, you're a bellend. Bye. Fucking give you a slap. But only because you're rude. If you're not rude, then this is a pat on the back for being good.